Good afternoon. My name is Dakota Tidwell. This is SDI's FTT101 class. This is for week 4. Apologize for the late uh, submission of my video. I've been a little under the weather this week, so it's been a little harder for me to do some things, but nonetheless, I'm getting it done. So, it's 11:49 p.m. here right now. So, Module 4 assignment. For part 1, if I had to choose a system of operation that is better than the rest, I would have to choose the gun operated system that is gas, because it has less moving parts, and the gas from the fired projectile does most of the, or if the majority of the work, taking stress off of the small parts in the firearm. This system, in my opinion, is the best suited for most applications, such as rifles and semi-automatic pistols. It's more durable, and again, less moving parts, which means less issues that can come about. Only issue is running into cheap ammunition. If you're running something that's gas operated, obviously you want to have that pressure not over pressurized like a hand load could be, but definitely want to run factory good factory ammunition. You know, it can cause anything from squib loads to, and obstructing the barrel to, just simply not being able to cycle rounds properly, so on and so forth, make you think that there's something wrong with your rifle when in reality it's just ammunition. And then those systems operate with these systems operate with the same outcome. Only difference is whether the barrel moves or the system does or does not use gas to manipulate the spring, which in return resets or recocks the firearm. And then I believe all modern firearms platforms are revolved around past ones, just with new and small, changes over time. Kind of like revolvers. They used to be you have to pull the hammer back and squeeze the trigger every time, and they used to use blast caps and so on and so forth for black powder. Now everything's cartridge, and you have the option for double action or single action, internal and external hammers. The list goes on, and even, obviously now we have semi-automatic firearms, which, for the longest time we didn't have. So, they have small tweaks over time, which has made the industry better. The firearms industry can definitely always promote continued innovation by means of better materials used, better safety features, less parts with same outcome, for less likely chance of failure in a part or something of that nature. I believe that's what makes the firearms industry so fun and so useful, is that there's always new things coming out. There's always new ways to make a firearm. You don't just have a regular standard AR platform rifle. You have bullpup rifles, which brings the action closer to the rear of the shoulder, or you have your regular AR platforms, which makes it more rear, mid of the firearm, which some of those are made better to mitigate recoil. Some are made just to be able to run them better and have a lighter platform. So I believe that's what makes the firearms industry so unique. And then for part 2 of this, we're supposed to talk about a pistol that we have. Before I do that, I'll go ahead and show you my workstation here. So I have my firearm laying here on the table. There's no ammunition. The magazine's out of it. I've already checked to see the barrel's clear, but I'll do it on camera as well. But you can see my area here. There's no live ammunition anywhere, so on and so forth. And then for this week, I'm using my 9mm 1911 platform. Go ahead and rack this back. Show you that everything is clear inside there. Stick my finger down there. It's all clear, so that's good. No magazine, and the magazine I have is empty. So in a 1911 pistol, before it fires, it must go through the cycle of operations. So number 1 would be obviously inserting a loaded magazine into the firearm to the bottom here, pushing it in, and then pulling the slide back and allowing a round to chamber up from the magazine into the feed ramp, which is going to put it in line with the barrel, and then at that point you are locked and loaded. On 1911s, or most 1911s, I don't think I've seen one without it, but you have on the rear here a grip safety. That grip safety must be depressed before this hammer is allowed to go forward, because if it's not pressed, you can pull the trigger all you want, nothing happens. But once it's depressed, you can pull the trigger and the hammer goes forward. Once the hammer goes forward, it derives all the energy into the firing pin, which in return strikes the primer on the round that's been chambered, allows the projectile to move outside the barrel. The disconnector and the sear release, and that's what makes the trigger be able to move forward into the firing pin and set it off. And then one of the says, explain why understanding physics is essential for modern day gunsmiths. Well, physics has a lot to do with firearms. Physics is mostly understanding how to manipulate something, just like a gunsmith is going to do. If you understand how to manipulate something, if you understand something, you can manipulate it to do whatever you want it to do, which is basically what a gunsmith is going to do. Gunsmiths make their own springs. You have to take regular wire, run them around, make them tight so you can make your own springs. Physics has a lot to do with, recoil or, stuff like that. How you hold a firearm and how it operates. If you were to hold it, with 2 fingers versus 3 fingers, and if you hold it real sloppily and let the recoil bring your hand back versus holding it stiff and let the recoil just go through the slide and help it bring itself backwards. That's all has to do with physics. So if we don't understand physics, we don't understand firearms. It just simply wouldn't be such a thing without the science of physics, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at with that, and then that's all I have for this week. I believe I kind of went over everything. I know this one was kind of quick. Like I said, I'm kind of under the weather, so apologize if I didn't hit everything. I think I did, but that's all I have for this week, and we'll see you on week 5.